The Yomiuri Giants organization finds itself once again at the center of a raging internal debate, fueled by sharp public criticism levied by one of the team's legendary old boys. This is not merely a critique of tactical errors. This is a full frontal assault on the core philosophical foundation of the organization, specifically targeting manager Shinosuke Abe and the entire front office structure for their perceived incompetence in managing player aging and, crucially, fostering young talent. The fundamental premise of the legendary OB's argument is an unassailable truth. Mortality and physical decline are universal.
Once a human is born, they must die, he argues, extending this somber reality directly to the professional baseball diamond.
Skidar. While years bring accrued wisdom and a more logical mind, a cognitive advantage for a veteran, the physical body betrays the athlete. This inescapable biological law dictates that once a player crosses the threshold of 35, cellular regeneration ceases.
Skidar. To expect a player, even a great one, to contribute at full capacity through ages 37 or 38 is pure folly.
Shredder. Requiring frequent strategic rest, a rotation based on necessity, not luxury.
The accusation laid against the Giants' management is that they willfully ignore this principle of natural science.
Had the Yomiuri executives truly understood the fundamental physiological principles governing their athletes, they would have exercised veto power over the manager's impulses.
Shedar. They should be guiding policy, issuing directives. Do not say such things, referring to the acquisition strategy.
Instead, the Giants' front office, allegedly blinded by the dazzling allure of star power and name recognition, signs aging players, often those who have already passed their peak with other franchises.
This pursuit of superficial celebrity, the legend argues, is nothing short of intentionally crushing the opportunities of the young players eagerly awaiting their chance to rise through the ranks.
Manager Abe's strategy is seen as highly contradictory.
While he might signal an intent to use a veteran player as a starting pitcher, he simultaneously leaves the door open for relief duty, signaling an underlying uncertainty regarding the player's true capacity.
Shedar. This instability is further amplified by the acquisition of foreign talent, which often disrupts the internal developmental pipeline.
The specific example cited is the arrival of a high-profile reliever like Thiago Vieira, or possibly the recent addition of Robert Martinez. Such moves, critics argue, immediately diminish the role of homegrown talent.
Why invest millions in an external arm if the goal is genuinely to cultivate future stars?
The immediate effect is seen in the bullpen shuffle, with a promising young Japanese reliever like Taisei being shifted from the high-leverage closing role down to a setup position.
This action demonstrates a profound failure to grasp what it truly means to develop human resources and elevate players to assume critical responsibilities.
The public reaction, as captured in the online forums, is swift and often venomous, yet punctuated by uncomfortable agreement.
Just plain common sense, one commenter states, acknowledging the harsh truth of the OB's analysis. Another points out the widespread antipathy towards the current manager. Abe is hated again, lol.
There is a widespread question regarding the sheer amount of unchecked authority Abe wields, a power seemingly reminiscent of past legendary managers, but without the accompanying track record of success.
Skedar. The general consensus suggests that while the legend's criticism is sometimes viewed as the rambling of an old man yells at cloud,
The logic in this specific instance is irrefutable.
Skedar. The criticism quickly pivots from Abe's tactics to the structural fault line within the front office itself. Abe gets all the blame, but the root problem is the front office that appointed him manager, notes a fan.
Skedar. The statistical indictment is damning. Abe has been in a coaching or management capacity for 7 years within the Giants system, yet critics claim he has developed 0 young players who have gone on to sustained success as core contributors.
This staggering lack of developmental output renders the front office's decision to elevate him to the top job highly questionable.
Yet there is a complex, ironic layer to this criticism. While the legend delivers necessary home truths, he is himself sometimes viewed as a roguy, an old nuisance in other contexts. When he shifts his focus to hypothetically managing the team, his proposed strategies can often sound outdated or overly rigid. However, the online consensus is that even a flawed critic is better than the current management's performance. Compared to Abe Shinsuke, even this old guy's flawed vision looks better, summarizes one post.
The situation lays bare a critical organizational flaw for the Yomiuri Giants as they look toward the 2026 season and beyond.
The organization continues to operate on the principle that buying established aging talent and signing expensive international closers is a viable substitute for the disciplined, long-term commitment required to nurture internal talent. This approach doesn't just block individual young players. It stunts the entire organizational growth, creating a cycle where the team must perpetually rely on expensive, short-term solutions rather than building a sustainable, homegrown dynasty.
Skedar. The legendary OB's outburst, though harsh, serves as a necessary, if brutally delivered, wake-up call regarding the physiological and philosophical debt the Giants are accumulating.